Big news, everybody. What's going on? Musaki from the Chaldea Gurus here, and it has been decided the FTC is coming down on gacha games, with the first being Genshin Impact. Let's talk about it. If you guys are not aware, on January 17th, the FTC put out a tweet saying that Genshin Impact game developer will be banned from selling loot boxes to teens under 16 without parental consent and pay a $20 million fine to settle the FTC charges.
Finally!
This is the beginning of change in the gacha gaming community. Now, a few years ago, we had issues with loot boxes in several games like FIFA, Overwatch, and so on, with other countries deeming that those mechanics are not allowed in games aimed at children. And I said in my Gacha is Gambling video that gacha is gambling. If loot boxes are being talked about being gambling, we had to address the elephant in the room. Gacha is pretty much as close to gambling as you can legally get. We're not being sold a product, something that we can physically hold, or something you can say, hey, I want Artoria, I'm gonna buy Artoria. No, we're being sold an experience. Those loot boxes issues will come over to gacha. And people waved me off saying, no, they're never gonna do it. It's not gonna touch it. And lo and behold, they are putting gacha being synonymous with loot boxes. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. This is very good. And granted, this is not enough. I feel like we need to go more. But the fact that Genshin Impact was the first game to be hit with this is a signal to all the other games. Now, what exactly are they saying in this report? Now, this is directly for the Federal Trade Commission. Genshin Impact deceived children, teens, and other players into spending hundreds of dollars on prizes they stood little chance of winning. Companies that deploy these dark pattern tactics will be held accountable if they deceive players, particularly kids and teens, about the true cost of in-game transactions. In-game transactions, which is gacha. Now, regardless of your stance, I think we would all agree that having kids being marketed to in these gacha spaces is not good. It definitely would have put some accountability on the parents. This problem would not be a problem if it was not allowed, and that's the issue. The FTC is saying that you're not allowed to do this. Now, you guys might be wondering, is Genshin really that bad? I mean, they clearly explain their mechanics in the beginning. They clearly lay out that this is a gacha game. It's not even meant for like little kids. This is like meant for 18 and up or 16 and up. It's not even meant for that. Oh, really? Genshin Impact on the Apple App Store 12 plus. Now, to the credit on the Google Play Store, they actually show specifically that it is rated T for teen, and if you are cognizant, you can click this little tiny thing that says, yeah, in-game purchases, including random items. But when you look at the tags, there's not anything here about in-game transactions in these tags. When they're talking about the game and describing it, there's nothing about in-game transactions in this game. And people might say, okay, well, yeah, but on the App Store that you showed earlier, it does say free with offers in-app purchases. But from the App Store itself, nowhere does it say that it has in-game transactions. It'll definitely tell you it's an anime art open world role-playing game, number 32 in adventure, and the editor's choice as well, with almost 4.5 stars. And upon further investigation, 12 plus years old. Yeah, 12. You understand now? I challenge you to go ahead and check the App Store for your favorite gacha game and just see what the age rating is on it. For Google Play, you might see T for teen, but I bet you're gonna find a lot more 12 plus over on the App Store. So that means that we need to start holding these companies accountable for the things that they're doing. We all know when we play in gacha games, gacha by its nature is predatory. And are there other examples of predatory practices in other games outside of gacha? Sure, FIFA is a big example of that one, and Overwatch was in the past as well. But gacha games are spreading. They're easier to play. They're free to play, free to download on your TV, on your phone, on your console. It is so easy to get an anime gacha game nowadays. And so if that's the case, I do believe that they should block or do what they can to prevent purchases were being made by children that don't have parental consent. A very good thing that Japan has done, because obviously they had issues with gachas before, is what Fate Grand Order has done. Oh my god, Fate Grand Order mentioned poggers. In Japan, when you first start off a new account, they actually ask you of your age range, and depending on the age that you select will determine how much money that you can spend. And this isn't an option that you can just change anywhere. You have to wait the amount of time or just uninstall the game and re-download it to try again, but it actually keeps the amount of money you can spend in the game limited. And in this case, this puts the ownership of the issue on the player themselves. They have chosen that, and they have done their part as a company to say, hey, kids should not be spending this much money on their own. So clearly this is a big issue, and because this is happening to Genshin, they even mentioned it in the report that they are going to go to other games as well. So honestly, you'll probably start seeing changes in how other games operate, at least on the NA side. They will have to adjust this rating over there, Apple first of all, to be higher than 12 plus, 16 plus minimum. And also, you might see more things of asking for age verification potentially. I don't think we're going to be asking for IDs or anything, but hey, ask and say, how old are you? Instead of just the month and the date, they're probably going to have to add the year to that as well. And depending on what year is placed will determine whether or not they're able to buy anything, which I think is 100% fair and valid. And that's like the minimum of what they can do to stop issues from happening in gacha games. And frankly, good. There should be no one feeling bad for Hoyoverse or Cognisphere in any capacity that they're being fined a measly $20 million. That's right, gacha games make that much, but I gotta say a measly $20 million. Something needs to be done, and this is the first shot. Now from here on out, it's going to be up to the game companies and what's going on from here. But now the US government has their eyes on gacha games and these in-game transactions where they didn't have it before. So expect some changes, some positive changes for the players. And do not defend these companies. These companies are not your friends. These companies do not care about you outside of the wallet that you have in your pocket, or in some cases, your parents' wallet. We don't need to fight against each other. We literally are all playing gacha games, and this affects every single one of us. So let's talk about it down in the comments below. I want to know what you got to say. If you want to see more content like this, let me know in those comments too. We are trying something new here, and honestly, this is too big where no matter what I was doing before, we need to talk about this. Thank you again to all of those on the top supporters list. Much appreciated for all the support that you're giving us here. And if you'd like to join us on that side, definitely go ahead and check the description down below. My name is Misaki from the Chaldea Gurus. We'll see you next time. Later.